Twins, what's the most disturbing thing your other twin has hid from you? I've always been slightly better than my twin brother at pretty much everything. In 8th grade, when we ran the 100-meter sprint during field day, Blake finished in 13.35 seconds. I finished in 13.23 seconds. In 9th grade, when Blake's report card was straight A's, mine were always A+. And when we applied to colleges, Blake got into the University of Michigan. I got into the University of California, Berkeley. It wasn't like I was doing it on purpose. Heck, sometimes I would even try to perform worse than usual just so he could let go of his resentment. But it never worked. So by the time we left for college, he pretty much hated me. I could tell because he always hung up my phone calls, ignored my texts, and blocked me on social media. I never blamed him for it though. So whenever we both came home for the holidays, I tried to shower him with gifts I knew he needed, and girl advice. Usually he just ignored me or gave me the cold shoulder, until one day, when he finally caved. It was the day before Thanksgiving, and we were all sitting in the living room when Blake barged in with a huge smirk plastered on his face. "Guys, come into the kitchen. I made something for us all." We followed him, and proceeded to eat the most delicious chicken Alfredo we ever tasted. I literally almost cried, it was so good. "Bet you couldn't make this, huh, Noah?" he asked me. "Absolutely not," I exclaimed. "This is the best thing I've ever tasted." That same day, Blake unblocked me on everything and even followed me on Instagram. He had finally found something he was better than me at, and I was relieved. The rest of Thanksgiving was amazing, and when I got back to my dorm, I was so inspired by Blake that I started cooking more extravagant dishes. Nothing crazy, just followed a few recipes here and there. After a few months, I felt pretty confident in my cooking, and I knew that there was no way I could be better than Blake, so I felt secure in calling him. "Oh, so you think you're that good? You should join this competition when you come home for Easter. We'll see who's good." He then hung up. Well, I somehow mistook his overly sharp and harsh tone for playfulness, so I applied. A part of me was actually excited to lose, just so Blake could have his moment in the spotlight. Fast forward 2 months later, and we were both back at home, planning for the competition. Well, kinda. I let him take the kitchen while I just sat on the couch, watching videos of people cook. As I said, I literally wanted him to win. So even as he bragged about how I'm totally effed, I agreed with him, told him he had it in the bag, that he was the GOAT. And on the day of the competition, he was straight up shut-talking me. "Did your little GPA teach you how to season food? You look so pathetic right now, it's embarrassing that we even share the same last name," are all things that came out of his mouth. It got so bad our competitors came up to me and asked if I was okay, and I had to tell them it was just my twin brother. His comments were deep and personal, and they hurt. But I figured if they made him happy, it was worth it, because I just wanted us to be a family again. The competition was actually fun. I tried to just enjoy the process. Meanwhile, whenever I looked over at Blake, I swear I could see beads of sweat rolling down his forehead. Then came judgment time. Blake came second, and his beady eyes stared at me as he went to get his award. I could literally see the corners of his lips turned upwards. Then came the announcement for first place. Noah Donaldson. Blake's face fell. I went red. After clarifying that it wasn't a mistake, I went up for my award. Blake looked so upset I wanted to give him a hug. But instead, I mentioned him in my speech. Said that he was my inspiration, that I wouldn't have been there without him. All the cliches. But as I spoke, I watched as his fists turned white from clenching so hard. His eyebrows were pulled all the way down. His entire body was completely tense. Fear ran through me. And as soon as I finished my speech, Blake lunged at me for a hug. "I'm so proud of you! Well done!" His tone was overly sweet, like sticking your tongue into a bag of sugar. I just accepted his surface-level kindness, never letting my guard down. And aside from a few dirty looks from Blake, the rest of Easter went smoothly. It wasn't until I returned to college that my life went downhill, because they kicked me out. And when I found out why, I didn't care about Blake's feelings anymore. I was ready to ruin his life. The rest of the full video is on my channel and linked below.